Along with me, Robin Singh from Soup team is going to present this presentation. So I will walk through the agenda, what we are going to see today, and I'll be giving TIA Portal version 18 introduction and also step 7 innovations. After that, Robin will be taking care of PLC Sim Advanced, multi-user and TIA add-ins. After that, I will be taking care test shoot, version control interface and UMAC. So this is the agenda of the session. Today it is going to be. So today the market is very volatile and its requirements are changing in a fast manner. So to address this requirement and to fulfill the volatile changes, our product need to be constantly evolved or else it constantly innovative. So, TIA Portal version 17 is already in the market and it's the most successful in the market and it's like a stable version. So to cope up with the requirement, what is happening or the volatile market. So then we have introduced TIA Portal version 18, which is succeeded the version 17 and it's released on 24th November last year. So a lot of innovations have been happened in the version 18. So I will be walking through what are the innovations happened in version 18. Before that, I want to give you some introduction about TIA Portal because some of the members may be new to this session or new to the TIA Portal. So I want to give you some information, what is the TIA Portal and what is the software. After that, I will be walking you through these innovations. So TIA Portal is an abbreviation of totally integration automation. TIA Portal is not a software, it's a framework. So in the framework around it, we will be having a software to configure our semantic hardware portfolios, such as PLCs, HMIs, and safety controllers. So here you can see semantic step 7. Semantic step 7 is which allows you to configure our visualization portfolio, such as WinCC, Comfort, WinCC, Unified HMIs. So to configure the semantic hardware portfolio, you need to have a basic software such as semantic step 7 and semantic WinCC. So in basic softwares also, we have some variants. So which I have shown here, semantic step 7 basic is used to configure our 1200 basic controllers. And semantic step 7 professional is used to configure our advanced controller. So if you have a semantic step 7 professional, you can also configure our basic controllers also. In addition to this, semantic step 7 basic safety is used to configure 1200 fail-safe controllers, and semantic step 7 advanced safety advanced is used to configure our advanced controller safety. After this, we can go through the semantic WinCC. So semantic WinCC, we have WinCC basic, WinCC comfort, WinCC advanced, and WinCC professional. From the name itself, we can able to diversify. WinCC basic is used to configure our basic panels, and comfort is used to configure both comfort and basic panels. And WinCC advanced is a single user PC. And WinCC professional is used to configure our SCADA system. And finally, our new portfolio, WinCC Unified Comfort, web-based technology HMIs. And to configure this, to have an additional functionalities, which is nothing but optional package, we call it as. So which is built around our basic software. So TIA Portal is a framework where you can have multiple softwares in addition to the basic softwares also. So here you can see the TIA Portal. I will give you single line explanation of all the options so that new users can also able to know to reduce our engineering time in screen engineering. And TIA Portal Openness, this is also part of our automated engineering portfolio, where you can, instead of creating and writing a program for each and every controller, you can create a library and you can automate the program generations. And TIA Portal Cloud Connector, where you can have an instance of TIA Portal in your own premises or in a cloud, and it allows us to connect to the controller remotely. And UMAC is nothing but user management component. So you control your user management in the TIA portal. So test suite is a part of continuous integrations. So continuous integration is nothing but a term used in software, and we are incorporating in the automation programming is also, which allows us to do automated testing in our program. And TIA portal VCA is nothing but version control interface. So which allows us to, you already heard about some softwares like versioning tool, GitHub, GitLab. So to allow as automation program to have a versioning, TIA portal VCA will help us to achieve the versioning in the automation programs also. So well-known PLC Sim Advanced, which is the digital twin of PLC, which allows us to simulate the program even without having a physical hardware. So like this, we have different options. So each options can be allows us to do different activities on top of the basic activity like step 7 PLC programming and WinCC visualization. So coming to the license, TIA portal version 18 also need a license. So which allows us or gives us right to work on the TIA portal version 18 license. So OS is a predominant for us. And what is the backward compatibility? Even if you have version 18 license, all the versions of TIA portal work in parallelly in your system. So you don't want to have a separate license for each version 16, version 17, and version 15. So you want to have a parallel all the TIA portal software in your PC. And if you have a version 18 license, then all the parallel installation will work accordingly. So I just want to give you a small live demo session. So because the questions, lot of questions has been arising in the license. So whether I am having version 15 license, whether it will be working for version 11, or to have or to experience yourself how to check the license compatibility, just scan this QR code and you will be directed to the website, which I will share you shortly now. So yes, so to have the license compatibility, I'm just showing the Siemens CIOS website where you can see the manual here. So version 18 manual. So here it is showing version 17, and the latest manual will be the version 18. So once you clicked on it, you will be redirected to the this one, and here you can see the latest manual here, and the multimedia content is the latest HTML5 document, which allows you to view the document without downloading it. So once you clicked on it, you will be redirected to this manual. Under the manual, you'll be having a tab called installations. Under the installation, you'll be having the licensing. Under licensing, you'll be having a licensing step 7 and WinCC tab. Here you can see if I'm having step 7 version 18 license, so what are the softwares I can able to use parallelly in the same system? Here it is clearly mentioned from version 11 to version 18, you can able to use it directly without any problem. Like even if you have version 18 license, it is work for version 11 to version 18. So this is the self experience I want to show you, because lot of questions has been arising from different users. So I just want to show you how to check by ourselves. So if the information is new, just show us thumbs up, and we will be continuing this like this kind of sharing in information. Okay, so yeah, thank you. And project upgradation. Whatever the projects you are having right now, which is greater than version 13, then you can directly upgrade your project to the version 18. Suppose if your project is less than version 13, then what you have to do, you have to upgrade the version 13 to version 13 SP1 project, intermediate step, and then you have to upgrade to any of these software versions like TIA portal version 18 or version 17. So one of the user asked the questions whether the side-by-side installation is allowed. Yes, side-by-side installation of version 13 SP1 up to version 18 allows, and also you can upgrade the project directly from the version 13 SP1 to version 18. So if you are having less than version 13, you have to upgrade to version 13 SP1. So I'm insisting once again on this. Suppose if you want to experience the TIA Portal version 18 without purchasing, so here I have given the sales and delivery list of TIA version 18. You can scan this QR code and it's directly redirect to the sales release of version 18, where you can able to see all the delivery release happened with the version 18. And also you can download the respective software from this website, and it is a 21-day trial versions. So once you are happy with your trial version, then you can go for purchase. So here you can see with the version 18, we have released all the wherever the version 8 is mentioned, it is the part of version 18. And for example, if you have seen version 5.0 in the PLC Sim Advanced, it's a separate release. So it has a separate release versions. So yeah. So what are the key points and core points in TIA Portal version 18 we had in our mind? So as I said, the volatile market is changing the requirement very frequently, and the engineering time also need to be very less. So our key point in developing a TIA Portal version 18 is reduced time to market, which will decrease the engineering time. And also we want to have the software quality at highest. So we incorporate we have innovated our integrated testing and simulations. And also one of the key point in right now is the modularization. And also we kept modularization as a key concept in developing version 18. And the fourth point is agile software development. So agile is a methodology which is used in the IT world for past few years, and we are incorporating this agile software development methodology in automation also. So to give this agile software methodology, and we are enabling such a tool to make it happen in automation development also. So these are the key points, or these are the key innovations which will benefit for your business while incorporating the version 18 into your day-to-day life. So that's about a short introduction about steps on version 18, and I'll be walking you through what are the innovations happened in step 7. And once again, the step 7 is the software which is used to configure our PLC or controllers. Software units, you already know the software units are available with the previous version also. I want to give you a small introduction about software units, then we will see what is the innovation happened in software units. So software units is an options which allows us to work in a single PLC by different users. For example, a single PLC can be used to control 2 or 3 different machines, and all the 3 engineers or different engineers will be working on the same PLC. And you want to have a granular download where each download will not affect other machines to become a stoppage. So this software unit allows us to do granular download to the PLC, where different engineer can work on a single PLC without affecting the others. So this is a small introduction about software units. So what is the innovations happened in software units? We have introduced a concept called a namespace. So namespace is which you can see in the image, the global environment bracket, square bracket, you can see global, and the assembly and placement. So this is a namespace which introduced in the TIA Portal version 18, which allows us to have a same program name in each different software unit. So this will help us to differentiate which program belongs to which software unit without renaming. For example, here you can see in the left-hand image, I have same program name called main, ProDiac, startup, under the group assembly. Under the group placement also, I have the same program name. So which should not be conflict when I am calling this program into the OB. So here you can see underscore global dot interface, which is the global is nothing but my preset namespace preset, which differentiate the interface program or interface DB where it is coming from. So what is the benefit of this? The block names can be used several times in the PLC program or in the different software units. And the second innovations, now the fail-safe program can be incorporated in the software units. So previous versions, in the software units, we cannot able to incorporate the fail-safe units. And with the version 18, you can incorporate the fail-safe programs also in the same software units. So to enable it, there is a global setting. So you should enable this manage fail-safe in software units environment. Once you enabled it, what will happen? Whatever the safety program you have written, it's automatically moved to the new software unit name called safety unit. So what is the benefit of it having a safety program in a separate unit? So you don't want to rely on the others programmers to complete their program, where you can download it separately. So unit granular download is possible. And also the namespace, what we have seen in the earlier slide, is also applicable to this. So yeah. And third innovations is symbolic access at runtime. So you might be using the S7300 previous step 7, where you have a concept called any pointer. So after that, what we have done in TIA portal, we have moved to this symbolic naming. Okay. So in symbolic naming, the dynamic addressing of the register is not possible with the symbolic naming. To have the any pointer concept in the TIA portal, now we have introduced symbolic access at runtime, where you have two different blocks, which is called as result symbol DB, first one, and move result symbols to buffer. So what is the benefit of it? You just give the tag name. It automatically finds the address of the tag name, and you can access the tag in a real time or dynamically. So what is the benefit of it having this symbolic access? One of the use cases I have in mind is, suppose if you want to configure your trace functionality dynamically from the HMI, you just give me the name of the tag you want to have the trace functionality, and the trace functionality will be adjusted dynamically. This is one of the use cases I have in mind, but there is a lot of other use cases also where you can build around it. And yes, the long-term trace. So the trace is an inbuilt functionality in all our controller. The trace is used for diagnostic purposes while developing a program, or in maintenance, we'll be using the trace functionality to identify what is happening inside the machine. But what is the limitation? What we had in the earlier is trace functionality is very limited based on the memory of the controller, and you cannot have this trace functionality for a long time. But what has happened with the TIA version 18? It allows us to have long-term trace. For this, what you have to do, you need to connect your TIA portal software with the PLC, and you have to enable the long-term trace. Once it is happened, what will happen? Whatever the data you are having or configured in the trace, it will be logged in a CSV file. Once it is logged, and you can view the log data in the trace functionality, but you cannot able to view in the live. So it has to be recorded. What is the limitation of a long-term trace? There is no limitations. The only limitation with the long-term trace is your memory. So memory in the sense, so I'm talking about hard disk. So you can have a very long trace functionality with a long-term trace. This is one of the key innovations in this. And the next one is SNP. This is a point already mentioned and Arvind in the last session. By default, SNFD will be disabled. If you want to enable it, you need to enable it by manually. So SNP is a protocol which is used for network management, and it's defaultly disabled in our TIA portal software. And small updations on like in and out parameter. In the block, you'll be having in parameter and out parameter. So in and out parameter is also one type. So to manage this in and out parameter, each blocks will have a new notation which will states this particular parameter belongs to the in out. You can see there's a green color mark over here. These are new innovations happened in here. And find and replace block, you can see this now allow us to do in the hidden block also. Suppose in a block you will be having hidden parameters. When you are doing hidden parameters find and replace is not happened with the previous version. Now it is possible to do the find and replace in the hidden blocks also. And one more improvements what we have done in search and replace in tag table, what was previously not possible from the current position and selection is not possible. Now you can able to replace the tag with the from current position or with the selection. These are the new innovations, which is minor innovations, which has happened in version 18. And finally, the checksum, the new checksum. Here you can see there is a green color rectangle box in the bottom. There is a new program checksum has been introduced, which is called a legacy. I will explain you what will happen, what was happened in previously. Even if you introduce some space or comments, it will show there is a changes in the program code. Even though you didn't made any changes, the checksum has been changed and it telling you that some changes has been happened in the code, which was not happened. So to differentiate whether the actual program has been changed or only the comment or some line has been space has been added, there is a different checksum has been added, which will introduce in the program code legacy. So if you really made a code change, then it will be reflected in the program code, or only the spaces or comment has been changed, then the checksum will be introduced in the program code legacy. So this is one of the main innovations which allows the user to navigate whether the actual changes has been happened in the program or not. Finally, the modify. There is a new shortcut has been introduced in the watch table, which allows us to modify the selected tag only. So the shift 5 F5 is a new innovations where if you haven't version 18, some of you might already have experienced this. So these are the key innovations happened in step 7. With this, I will hand over the session to Robin to present the PLC Sim Advanced and the rest of the topics. Over to you, Robin.
Hello, everyone. My name is Robin Singh, and I am a pre-sales technical consultant for factory automation products. So, yeah, today we're going to see PLC Sim and PLC Sim Advanced innovations. Yeah, so from version V18, we have introduced a new user interface for PLC Sim that allows a PLC Sim and a PLC Sim Advanced function to be used together. And uh, those who are aware of how PLC Sim are used and how we can use our PLC Sim as a simulation. So the PLC Sim Advanced have a more features like OPC UA traces and web servers. So um, we have introduced a multi adapter. Into next. Yeah. So here are some examples of functionalities you can see and the differences between a PLC Sim V8 in a PLC Sim Advanced version 5, and that in version PLC Sim Advanced we have a distributed communication, whereas PLC Sim in V8 in it's not there, and we can have a TCP, OPC UA, HTTPS, web server. So those are available in PLC Sim Advanced. And even after the introducing a PLC Sim V8 in new user interface, the license concept will be the same. So if you want to use the features of a PLC Sim Advanced, so you have to take the license for the same. So we have introduced TCP/IP multi-adapter mode. So previously, what was happening in a single adapter? So the network adapter reads all the incoming telegrams. Okay, so the network adapter reads all the telegrams which are not intended for the network adapter. So and it was sending all the telegrams to the CPU. Whereas in the multi-adapter mode, it is like it is having a mapping of a MAC address, so that whatever the telegram is intended for the adapter, that only being sent to CPU. So previously with single adapter, it was not recommended, or it was prohibited to be used in a public network or a public cloud infrastructure like Azure. But now with a multi-adapter, which which is now we are able to do the same for and it can be done. So there here are the some features we are going to talk about of V5 under S7 1500 CPU. So all the CPUs which are firmware 3.0, including C plus, can be simulated along with our new CPU of our ET200 SP 1514 SP, and by new web server of a PLC Sim Advanced, now we can able to do the testing or backup of a and the restore, and the recipe and data log also can be read and written, and R1 and S2 configuration can also be of downloaded okay under 1500 R and H. Moving to next topic of a multi-user engineering. So multi-user engineering is engineering we if those who are not aware of a multi-user engineering, so I'll give you a brief. It's a multi-user engineering in the TI portal. You can work with a multiple users together simultaneously on the same project, and in order to be able to work simultaneously with several users in a multi-user server project within a framework of this multi-user. So each user have to create their own local sessions. Okay, so now it's you can think in this way that okay, if you have a project and multiple people wants to work on the same project, and working on the same project, it can be achieved with the multi-user engineering. And from version 18 we have extended feature and included libraries also, so you can store libraries also on the project server, and we can create a structure of a project and the libraries in a project server, so that it can have a systematic on a project server, and yeah, so it can be grouped and structured. So into next, there's a demo or just a small screencast of to show you the uh, feel of how multi-user engineering or multi-user works. So I have a project on my TI portal engineering platform where you can see I have a two local sessions created as a named as a user and user B. So currently I have opened my user A local session, and I'll open another local session in the same machine. So you can do this. You can open this project or local session into another system also, but for demonstration purpose I'll be opening in the same environment. So I have opened two local sessions, local session user A, user B, and you can see these under administrator of a project server. I have a two local sessions running actually with the revision 1. Okay, and there is only one revision as per se. Okay, the history you can see. So let's say if user A wants to do the modification of any function block, so he can just go and check mark the flag, so that uh, other members or other users can know, okay, the someone is going to change, or someone is changing, or someone is working on the project. So yeah, it will be indicated by a yellow flag for others. And even if you forgot to do the flagging, just if you double tap and open the function block and start the editing, it will automatically give you or give everyone the yellow flag for that function block. So yeah, here I'll just add one no. Okay, so here also on right hand side you can see the yellow mark, and on left hand side the blue mark that I'm working on this. So if let's say if I'm adding a and a tag here, and once it has been added, so what I have to do, I have to refresh or check in to my actual project server, right? So it will upload my uh, current project to my project server, and I can give here a comment so that everyone know that okay, for what reason I have done the changes. Once it is done, okay, the changes has been done, so it will automatically refresh, or it is now opening the project, and once it is checked in, it will automatically refresh my local session. Okay, so yeah, it is actually doing a compilation while uploading or checking in into project server. Once it is done, then it will update. So now server project is updating and transferring the changes has been done. Okay, so okay, now I have an option whether I want to keep the local session or just click an OK button. So I'll keep a local session, and my local session will start opening. And if you see for other user, it is now uh, it will give a refresh kind of symbol. Okay, so he will know that something has been changed to FC1 and I don't have a final backup. And if I go back to administration, I can see under local session there has been under history, there is another revision for my project server. So this way we can have multi-user engineering. Okay, so we'll move to mm, next. So here the order numbers. So for we can upgrade from version 14 to 17 to 18. Actually we can upgrade our multi-user engineering, and there is a source license also available. Coming to TIA portal add-in. So TIA, if you haven't heard of a TIA add-ins, so let's say you have a task which need to be performed multiple times, and each time you are doing that manually, ultimately you are spending times. Okay, so by clicking through the different menus, right? So which leads to a longer time to uh, complete your task. So to overcome this, we have a tier add-in. So tier add-in give you an option, okay, of adding your own functions to tier portal, so you can integrate these functions into user interface. Either you can call via shortcut menus or attach them to a specific workflow. So yeah, so we have our dedicated or TIA portals at TIA portal add-ins we have readily available on our CEOs. So you along with the our VB or Visual Studio base project, so you can use that to tweak in, change something and modify, so which is suitable to your requirement, or you can use directly those add-ins are freely available. Yeah, so here's the example of a add-in which converts Shabri, can you go back, yeah, and play the video? So this is the add-in which converts FB to FC or FC to FB converter. So if you have a requirement like this, so you can directly use the this add-in. So on right hand side, if you see, there's an option. If I play the video, so right hand side there is an option of a tier add-in. So here you can from here you can see the whatever the add-in you have with you, and you can activate that add-in. And on what we are doing here is we are doing a conversion, right? So here are the options. If you're not able to see, okay, that's okay, because all the things are being already documented and well documented and readily available on COS. So you so there are multiple add-ins available, right? So but if you want to use your own, or you want to develop your own add-in, so here are the some basics of TI add-in development. First you have to select a suitable template for you. Okay, then you can create an add-in skeleton, so you can write your code. Then those after that writing a code, you can export your add-in to a tier portal and use in tier portal, and you will start testing your tier add-ins. Okay, so moving to next, here are the few examples for our tier add-in. These are freely available. So here are some copy, let's say a copy PLC. Copy PLC is nothing but you can create or you can copy hardware configuration and software configuration of whole complete PLC to a new PLC. Here one more tier add-in called variable cleaner, so you can see that which tag is been not used, right? So you can clean that tag, you can remove those tags. Know-how protection, you can completely um, uh, do a know-how protection for a complete folder. So whereas currently it has been only for particularly one object, so you have to do for each and every object. So by this you can do for a complete folder. So like these we have freely available examples, and their base projects are also available, so that you can use uh, on your own, right? Okay, over to you, Sabri.
Thank you, Robin, for a wonderful explanation. From here, I will be taking care. Okay. The next TIA portal options we are going to see is the test suite. So before I'm going to test suite innovation, I just want you to give a glimpse why we need test suite exactly. So suppose let us take an example. An OEM is developing a machine and he is modularizing his machine. Here I have shown you some example that using the analog output, we are controlling the motor. So for this, what he has identified, he want to develop a 3 modularization program. First is scaling, motor, and analog output. So what he is doing, he is handovering this development to two peoples, one who is already experienced with the PLC programming, and the second people is new to his organization. And yes. So what is happening with the question? What is the question is rising? Here you can see while developing the program, we have a diagnostic code inside the code, and the experienced person exactly using the organization standards. But the new person, what he has done, he is simply putting the numbers. So there is no alignment with the code development. Suppose if this code need to be diagnosed in the future, the whatever the engineer he is going to see, he doesn't know what is mean 8401 because the new person what he has done, he is not maintained the company-wide standard. Okay, so what are the questions arises? How we can make the code more readable? Okay, for example, the error quality bad is more readable than what 8401 is, and how developers can be guided during the programming stage itself. Okay, suppose during the programming stage, if we identify this new programmer doesn't follow the standard, how we can guide them, and what are the standardization programming style we can follow in the development process. So we have understood the problem statement. So the solution to this is test suite. So test suite is a TIA portal option package which allows us to test the code in the initial stage of the development. For example, the test suite will gives you two types of option. One is tailgate checker and another one is application test. So what is a tailgate checker? I will show you some example. First, you define this tailgate using the test suite software. Once the developer is developed the code will be tested against this tailgate and it will tell you what are the rules violations the programmer has been done. For example, if the naming has to be within the limit, or then, for example, when we are developing a program, if we are using a Boolean variable, then we will be starting with a B to identify this variable is a Boolean. Suppose he didn't use the B for identification or prefix or suffix, then this rule will tell you this particular programmer in this particular code and this particular variable is not followed the standard. So from this, we can able to identify this standard has been deviated. So test suite will help you to identify this. So this is the automated one. This is not the manual work. So again, what we have to, once the rules is violated, again he has to adapt the changes into his code. Then the test will be again automatically done and the final results will be given. So here you can see once the test style guide is written, you don't want to do anything after that. It can be reused, reduce the test effort will be reduced and it can be used as many times as we want. Okay. The second scenario, test suite, we have application test. So with this application test, what we can do, we can test our functionality, which means, for example, you have written a function to convert an analog value and you want to know whether this function is working or not, then you can write a script for this and the test will be automatically done and the report will be produced. Let us see an example on this. For example, a developer is creating a program and right now the tester, which means operator, he's testing whether his code is working or not, and he's dumping the code to the machine, which we call the manual test. Suppose a developer is updating, suppose he is updating the analog value converter to a newer version. Again, what we have to do, again, the tester has to test all the scenarios what she has followed with the previous version. In this case, if the operator finds some issue, what will happen? Here, the manual effort spent on each time the program has been updated is huge. So we need to identify how to reduce the effort of software testing, which means the PLC code, and in the same time, how we can reduce the software errors, which means how we can increase the software quality. Okay. And also the test can be done in a standardized way, which means again and again, we don't want to do the same test in the same code, even if the small update has been happened in the code. Okay. So here the test suite application test will help us. What has happened? Instead of testing the code, tester will define what need to be tested in a test suite. Okay. Then the test suite will help you to identify what is wrong with the functionality. For example, the developer has developed the version 1.0 code and the tester it's already defined what need to be tested. Okay. And the TIA portal test suite will help you to identify this function block does not meet the requirement what it needs to be done. Okay. So based on the test result, developer what it will do, the developer will update the code and this code again tested with the same script. Okay. So here the test effort has been reduced drastically because previously what happened, even the small update has happened, the manual tester has to test from scratch. Okay. Here this automatically it has been done. The test effort has been reduced and also the standardized way of testing is incorporated. Then it can be dumped into the machine. So this is the small introduction about test suite. Let's see what is the innovations happened in test suite with the version 18. So with the version 18, what has happened? Previously, the test suite will use the PLC Sim Advanced as a test bench, which means it create an instance of a PLC Sim Advanced and it will do test. Right now, you can use the actual hardware to test the test suite, which nothing but it connect to the hardware via the OPC UA server interface, and it allows what is the benefit of using the hardware? You can run hardware in loop test and software in loop test and black box test. These are the three types of tests which we will do in the software. The same testing can be incorporated in the automations also. And the second innovations, there is an additional property has been incorporated in the test script. Here you can see in the left hand side of the screen. This is the in the left hand side you can see there is a screenshot. This allows us to configure what type of testing we are doing with the style gate checker. Here you can see the additional property is a new one introduced, which allows us to scrutinize the function block which we want to test. Suppose if you are returning a test case and this test case has to be tested only on the Boolean variable, then you can see the data type, member type, and block type, which with this filtration, you can scrutinize your test case to a particular functions. So this is one of the advancement happened in style gate checker. And also we have introduced some of the new elements. Object selector, what we call object selector is nothing but in which area you want to do the test. For example, function or function block organization. We already have an object selector, but these are three new options we have introduced with the version 18. And also in the right hand side, you can see the run cycle. Previously, we can able to tell this is a screenshot of the application test. In the run cycle, you can additionally add the conditional statement where the run cycle will be stopped when the run cycle has been done or the cycle has been met. So this is the new innovations happened in test suite. So we have four types of license here, which is direct license, which is version 18. Or if you have an older version, you can also upgrade to the version 18. And you have an SUS. SUS is nothing but software update service. In addition to this, we have a bundle because test suite always uses the PLC Sim Advanced as an instance to test the scenarios. So you can purchase both test suite and the PLC Advanced in a single bundle. So these are the four type of license available in test suite. With this, I'm moving on to next topic. So here the two developers are discussing what is the latest changes she has done in the module and what is the problem. She didn't remember what is the changes because she's done before her holidays. Okay, then he's asking to send the backup, but still what has happened, her head disk is corrupted. So what is the solution for this? So the solution for this is a version control interface. So here also small story I want to tell you. Before understanding what is VCA, I want to tell you about versioning. So here three developers are there and he's developing, all three are developing a program and they want to maintain the version history of what is the code changes happen. Okay, the version control can be done in cloud or in your local repository. So whatever the program you have heard, you will be uploading this code to a version control. So the other developers can have the copy of this code and whatever the changes they need to do, they can do in a local copy of them. Okay, suppose a third engineer has done some changes with the code. What will he will do? He will upload the code changes to the cloud. Okay, and this changes will be incorporated in the version control. So here you can see there is some changes added in the code. So versioning means you will be version control your code so that you can track the changes, who has done and why it has done, what has done. So these are the version, small introduction about versioning. So this versioning will work only with a text-based file like Visual Studio codes and those kind of Python or C and C++. So how we can incorporate this particular methodology into our automation development, because we already do the automation development with the graphical programming like ladder. So it's already the versioning is only working with the text-based file. How we can incorporate the methodology? The answer to this is TIA VCA. TIA VCA is nothing but a TIA add-in. Okay, it's a TIA portal option package where it converts your ladder language into a XML file, and using the TIA add-ins, you can push your code changes to a GitHub or ASVM. So in the top picture, you can see this is a small screenshot of version control interface. So in the left hand side, you can see the program tags and PLC tags and PLC data types, or the some type of objects where you can maintain your versioning. So this can be uploaded to your workspace. Then based on the TIA add-ins, you can push to GitHub or the SVM. So simply what I can say, TIA VCA is a simple converter where graphical representation of your ladder logic can be converted into an XML file. With this small introduction of VCA, what is the innovations happened in version 18? The automatic derivation of the structure of the program is done automatically, and the technology object is also now supported in the VCA, and some more innovations like API integrations can be done in SVN add-ins. Okay, so these are the small innovations happened in VCA, and the final thing, UMAC. So how to prevent people from making changes where they are not allowed to do, which means how we can control the people or give the authority only to the specific place where they can able to do it. So the answer is UMAC. UMAC is nothing but is an incorporated feature of TIA portal, which is nothing but so it's a time, and I'll be taking another 2 or 3 minutes to complete this. Yeah, so user management, access and control. So what short introduction about to UMAC? UMAC is nothing but here you can see right hand side, there is a different role has been assigned to different peoples, and they are allowed to only do some specific operations in the TIA portal project. So this can be allowed to the particular person using the UMAC. So this is an integrated feature of a TIA portal. So what is the innovations happened in UMAC? So with the UMAC, you can able to previously whoever logged into the project, it is named as a semantic user. Now what happened with the UMAC and the new innovation TIA portal, their name will be attached to the changes so that you can backtrace to the changes who has done the exactly. So this is more important innovations in TIA portal version 18. And with this, I conclude. Thank you so much for your participation.